if you call me a shit house, if you say I'm a pansy, if you say I'm a has-been, and you're going to give me a slap when you see me, I'm really not going to do a lot, am I? Do you know what I mean? I mean, I'm just, other than hope you don't.
This is Jonathan Aguilar here for Pro Boxing Fans, joined by Eddie Hearn here in Las Vegas for Conor Benn against Peter Dobson this Saturday live on DAZN. Eddie, how's Las Vegas treating you, folks?
Very good, mate. I've come straight from Phoenix. Had a few days out there. Obviously, John Ryder didn't get the win, but pleased to be in Vegas. The first time we've ever had a Brit headline in Las Vegas. A massive moment for Conor Benn. And really looking forward to the show. It's a good show. Obviously, the main event, Khalil Coe against Asuna is a great fight. Ammo Williams in a great fight. You've got Johnny Fisher in a good heavyweight fight as well. Lidard, Sains, some of our youngsters. Great opportunity for them, and pleasure to be in Las Vegas ahead of a big night on Saturday on DAZN.
Some would say it's my job, but I have done a bit of research into this, and like you've been mentioning, Nigel Benn fought Aaron Barkley here 30 odd years ago across the road at Barley's, now Horseshoe, and then the next fight he fought Chris Eubank after tearing up his licence live on TV.
Yeah, I wish I would have known that. Yeah,
mention it tomorrow, but
yeah, exactly. Thank you.
He tore up his licence right on TV. Obviously Conor's going through his own issues with the board, but do you see parallels here where potentially a win here and it is Eubank next?
Hopefully. I mean, I've kind of given up on that a little bit because common sense just doesn't seem to prevail. You know, when you've got an opportunity, you think, for a guy to earn 2, maybe 3 times as much money to fight a guy 2 divisions below him, yet still doesn't want to do it. You have to ask yourself why. The parallels with Nigel and Conor are scary all round. I think some of the way that Conor has been treated as well by the board is because of his father's previous relationship with the board, to be honest. Aaron Barkley fight, I remember watching it. It was unbelievable. I mean, he nearly got knocked out himself in the first round. He was hurt, and he came back and knocked him out in the first round. And Conor will try and do the exact same. And that's why I say Conor Benn is one of the most exciting fighters on the planet, because time and time again, he comes out and he tries to take the opponent out. You know, when you hype a fight and then you're watching it and for 3 rounds they're like measuring each other up. Fucking none of that, mate. I'm telling you now, from that first bell, Conor Benn will come out and try and knock Dobson clean out in the first round. He's wide open, but he'll take 1 or 2 to land 7 or 8. And Dobson thinks he's ready for it, but we will see.
I want to ask you about that, because Dobson's been basically saying to you, like, have you watched me fight? What?
I know he's good. I know where he's from. I know he's from the Bronx. I know he trains in that gym. I know he spars the top level guys. He's undefeated. He can fight. But if we're talking about Crawford and Boots and all these guys, you can't struggle against Dobson. You've got to destroy him. And that's what Conor will be looking to do on Saturday.
If he does win this fight, is that the next option, or do you want him back in the UK pending the board's decision?
I would love him back in the UK. I mean, we do have a problem in the UK where there are a lot of big names and big fights that are emigrating, if you like, to the Middle East, and rightfully so. It's a great opportunity, and I support boxing and the growth there. But we do need big names, big stars and big fights and nights in the UK. And when you look at the big names in the UK, Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, who's the next biggest name? Conor. I mean, maybe Eubank, the both of them. So we need him. We know he can fill stadiums. We know he can fill any arena in the country. There's some massive fights to get made, and hopefully very soon we can put that behind. Don't forget, it's not long before it's 2 years since it's happened. Quite amazing, and we're still talking about it to this very day. So,
any concerns going up against Bratu Aziz, or do you think Conor Benn has the pulling power if you do go at the same time?
That is a good British title fight. Like, Conor's a much bigger name than those guys, but that is a good fight. But we're going 10:30 ring walks. I expect them to go a little bit earlier. We actually have made a decision ourselves to start trying to bring that UK main event earlier. We did it in Belfast. I think it was 9:30. Worked really well. So I think they will recognise as well the draw power of Conor Benn. That's why it's not ideal doing a Las Vegas show, by the way, at 2:30 in the afternoon. But we do it because Conor Benn's a massive draw in the UK, and we need him prime time.
Eubank Sr came out on talkSPORT earlier and said that his son's at 187, or walking around at 187. There's no way he's coming down to 160, and basically the Conor Benn Eubank fight isn't there under what he's saying, and he should go after Hearn. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, when he talks about there's no way he can make 160, he is a 160. I mean, he just did it against Liam Smith. Like, he did it before. He made 158, or was making 158 before that. So he's a middleweight. He can also fight a super middleweight, but he's fighting a welterweight. You know, all this stuff about the bulk of Chris Eubank's career and most of his last fights have been at 160. What about the concern for Conor Benn, who's a 147? Do you know what I mean? No one's talking about him jumping up 2 divisions to fight a guy that's bigger than him with no fear. So we have absolutely no interest in fighting Harlem Eubank at all. He's a good young fighter. It ain't a big fight. The fight is Chris Eubank, and if it's not him, it's Kell Brook, it's Liam Smith, it's Crawford, it's Ennis, it's whoever. But it ain't Harlem Eubank. And Chris Eubank Sr has no involvement in Chris Eubank Jr.'s career. He's just championing him and pushing Harlem. I get what he's doing. Not for us. If it ain't Chris Eubank Jr., it ain't a Eubank. But who knows what can happen in the future.
On Boots, you said you made an offer to him last year. Has he got anywhere with that?
As well, we're talking. I believe he has a fight potentially scheduled with Barros, but we'd love to work for him and with him, and or for him, both. And we'll see what happens.
I know you've spoken about this to death, but I have to ask you, Fury against Usyk. The rumours about Fury getting dropped and things like that. Have you heard anything?
No, I think it's absolute rubbish. I mean, he definitely didn't get dropped by Jai Opetaia. These rumours, stories, sparring rumours, boxing rumours, they're rife. But no truth in it. I don't know how he's looking. I'm not part of the team, but as I understand from a few people that obviously we've had people in the camp with him, said he looks great, and I think he'll be ready to fight.
In terms of the fight itself, I watched True Geordie's breakdown, and he said that after watching round 8 of the Ngannou fight, he feels like the pressure from Usyk may. He's got concerns basically that Fury won't be able to stand up to Usyk given what he saw in the Ngannou fight. Do you agree? Would you have those concerns?
When we're starting debating the True Geordie breakdown, I mean, I love True Geordie, by the way. I think he's a top man, but everybody's entitled to break down a fight. You cannot compare the size and the presence of Francis Ngannou to Oleksandr Usyk. What Usyk has is unbelievable skill, unbelievable footwork, but he doesn't have a physical presence to sit on you and be that immovable object that Francis Ngannou is. Two totally different fights. I do feel like Usyk needs to be aggressive in the fight, because if it's a fencing competition, we've seen time and time again, that's Fury's cup of tea. Although I do think his reactions have probably slowed a little bit since certainly the Klitschko fights. But if I'm Usyk, I'm aggressive, I'm in and out, I'm putting the pressure on. I don't think Usyk can hurt Fury, in all honesty. But I think if he's active enough, he could outwork him. But it's a brilliant fight. Can't wait to watch it.
What's your thoughts on John Fury and Carl Froch's beef right now?
Love it. I mean, John Fury winds everyone. The difference is, like, with Carl Froch and someone like, I don't know, me. If you call me a shithouse, if you say I'm a pansy, if you say I'm a has-been, and you're going to give me a slap when you see me, I'm really not going to do a lot, am I? Do you know what I mean? I'm just, other than hope you don't. But if you say that to Carl Froch, if you call Carl Froch a shithouse and tell him you're going to give him a slap when you see him, like, these are different kind of people. Froch will stick it right on John Fury if he sees him. Do you know what I mean? And the one thing, Carl Froch has his faults. We all do. But the one thing Carl Froch is definitely not is a shithouse. Like, that geezer will have it at the drop of a hat. Even now, retired, with plenty of money in the bank, you stick it on Carl Froch, or you say something disrespectful to Carl Froch, he will have it with you on the spot. So let's keep those two apart for now.
Last one, Haney Garcia, any talks over the last few days?
No, just seeing Bill Haney this week to chat through it. I think it's the perfect fight for DAZN, perfect fight for both guys. Hopefully it gets made.
You're involved, regardless of what De La Hoya will say?
Yeah, we have a matching option to work with Devin. We want to do it. Doesn't mean we'll 100% be involved, but we're a big part of his career. Obviously, as long as it's on DAZN, I don't really care. Let's get the fight made.
All right, Eddie, thank you for your time.